Step one, go to a higher time frame. I prefer doing the daily. Step two is we're looking for pivots. We're looking for swings. Where did the price action go before it met resistance and came down? This resistance level is very strong because it stopped the momentum of the uptrend and started the momentum of the downtrend. Now, in addition to pivots, because we're on a higher time frame, we're seeing the bigger picture versus if we're on a lower time frame, this is what we would be seeing. This is a bunch of noise. So whenever you're trying to do trend lines or anything else, support resistance levels, you want to go on a higher time frame so you're not seeing all this noise. Now, the next step when you identify the pivot is to make sure your magnet tool is on, but it's the horizontal rate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify the highs and the lows. And I do the candle body closes. So here is a pivot. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the most recent price action. And then later I can go and find other levels. So here is a level and it broke the level. Not good. Now I'm using the candle body. Now here's the candle wick. So what I'll do is I'll use my box or my rectangle. And here we go. We're in the support zone. Would I enter right now? High risk. Why? Because just because this support doesn't mean it's going to stay. So here's the thing, higher time frames, you want to find your key levels of support resistance, which would be the pivots. And you want to identify them using your magnet tool, only using the candle body closes. Once you do this, you can pretty much establish, is it healthy right now? Is it above this level? Is it below the level, not healthy? Or is it kind of just struggling on this level, which it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. Should I go up or should I go down? So those are the two main key factors. Now, another key factor, I strongly recommend using the Fib Retracement tool. The Fib Retracement tool is used to see where the retracement or possible retracement of the run-up might go. Notice I use the words possible, might, probability, higher chance of, because nobody knows what's going to happen. If you're following somebody who says it will come down here, it will bounce at this level, be very careful. The key to the Fib Retracement tool is go from the beginning, the flat part prior to the move up. Now, again, this is much easier to identify higher the time frame. Now here we can see sideways, move up, sideways, move up, sideways, lowest part, move up. Which one do I use? Do I use this one? Do I use this one? Or do I use this one? Either one that you use is not wrong. If you use this one, it will give you smaller levels because we're going from here, the swing low to the swing high. If you use this one, instead of this levels, it'll give you these levels because we're using this swing low to this swing high. If you use this, you're going to get from here to here to here. You're going to get greater levels. Another thing that you can do is you can actually go to a much higher time frame so that you're not confused with, man, should I do it here? Should I do it here? Well, let's make it a little easier. Let's go to a 3-day time frame. Now you can see flat, came up and sideways, went up, retracement, went up. Okay, so here, now it's like, should I do it here or should I do it here? Because this is kind of straight up. Well, let's go to a weekly. Ooh, straight up. I can do it here because here it went, then it went up, then it went sideways again. See how I'm making this much easier to see where to set your Fib retracement? So what we're going to do is we're going to use this area. Magnet tool is on, Fib retracement, going to the lowest point, which should be about here, to the highest point. Then I'm going to my settings and I'm going to style, and I want to make sure that the reverse button is not on. Why did I have the reverse button on? It's because you're supposed to go from low to high, from left to right to see the retracement. However, if this had a really nice retracement, what I could do is I can go from high to low, not for a retracement, because from left to right, bottom to top shows the retracement. From top to bottom, it shows you levels. It doesn't show where it's going to retrace to because you're using it the wrong way. From bottom to top shows you where it might go. From top to bottom gives you levels where you can actually enter, but it's not going to show you retracement. And that's why you have to reverse it, because now you need those levels to show going up. So now we're on the daily time frame. Here, sideways. And once you do this thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of times, you can pretty much identify, okay, well, I'm just going to do it here because I know on a larger time frame, this just shot up. And that's what we showed. So not only am I showing you where I would have put my fib retracement, but I'm showing you the thought process behind it. And that's what I try to do every single day, is I give you the thought process behind all of my decisions. Now, if you're finding value from this, guys, smash the like, share this out. My trading has improved greatly since I joined your group. Thank you. This is my group. If you cannot afford this, some people can't afford this, and I don't want any barriers. I want zero barriers. One, you can watch it for free. Ask me questions. This is a 1 hour I dedicate to you, so you can ask questions about indicators, about trading styles, about just questions you may have. There are no dumb questions. They're either questions we've had before or haven't thought of. Now, if you want to help support the channel, well, then here's 3 different tiers. The higher the tier, the more you get. We got training videos. You have access to me. I respond extremely quick. Reach out to me on Telegram. It's trade_intuition. Ask me, hey, what does your group do that others don't? Now, in addition to the fib retracement, you want to identify some key levels. One is the 0.382. This is 38% of the pullback. From this entire move, this is 38%. 0.5 is 50%. On average, when the price pulls back, on average, it's 0.5 or 50%. Now, these are from Mr. Fibonacci. He was a brilliant mathematician. And these levels, it's amazing and crazy how well these levels work. Let's look at these levels. You know, here, this one stopped. Here, almost. What I'm looking for is a lot of stops. If I go here to this one, it looks kind of ugly. So there will be times where I will use the larger time frame, for example, a weekly or a monthly, just by looking at it. I'll be on the 4 hours, like, oh, this is going to be the monthly move, and I'll use that. But if I go to, let's say there's a point where it's like, should I use this one or this one? What I'll do is I'll actually go to the other one and I'll see if I have more stops in that area. If I do, well, then I'll use the higher one so that I get more levels that actually stop in that area. Now let's go to the 4 hour time frame. So now what we're doing is we're actually doing top-down analysis. Now, everything that I do, everything that I show you, there's words for it, there's terms for it, there's all these, breakdown and definitions. But instead of doing all that, I just show you what I do. Weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, without saying, what it is. And sometimes I do have to remind myself to say what it is in case you hear somebody else say, today we're doing top-down analysis. And you're like, what? Oh man, this dude's showing me something different. It's the same thing. It's just that I don't use all those words. I just show you in the most simplistic way. But what I'm doing is I'm looking for ups and downs. I need to find pivots. And the easiest way to enter, this is market structure. Within market structure, you have break a structure, boss, change of characters. You have all these different terms. Why? Make it simple. We have this. It needs to break this to enter along. Needs to break this to enter along. Needs to break this to enter along. Finally, it breaks it. What is it doing? Possible changing the trend. We had lower highs, lower lows. Now we have the first higher high. We're looking for a higher low. Once we do this, now we're building, okay, we had a low, higher low. Are we going to continue breaking these highs? Now, of course, you do need a retracement, but the retracement, it needs to not break the low. If it does, then we're like, whoa, wait a minute. We might change the trend again. Now, the lower time frame that you're on, the more changes you'll have. The higher time frame, the fewer. That is vital when it comes to, entering on a very small time frame. It's called flipping and flopping. Overall, what are you doing? Like, is it bullish or is it bearish? So here we can identify some key areas. I like trading on the 4 hour. I'm actually going to get this and move it up here to my candle close. So we have this area. This is known as a buy zone or a support zone. Price was coming down, selling, flipped, buying. So right here, these candle bodies, they're telling me that there's a lot of, again, you can use all these different words, liquidity, demand zone, whatever it is. Do I think right now we should enter? No. Why? I'm not showing strength. I'm just showing it to come down. This is what I'm seeing. So let me draw it for you. We had up, pivot, came down slightly, up. And this is what we don't want. We don't want very small moves. We want to see like a 38% move. If we see like a 5% move or retracement, 15%, and it shoots up again, there's a very high possibility that's going to come down. Doesn't mean that it will. It could go up further, another 30, 40% before it comes down, but there's a chance it'll come down. Now, it came down, pivot, came up. This is the level we need to go if it breaks above. It's a very tiny level, very high risk. Came down, came up. So we have more of a pivot. We have more of a swing. This is less risk because we have more of a swing. Needs to break this level in order to enter. Came down, came up, created this level. If it breaks this level, will we enter? Nope, because it's really close to this one. We would wait for this one. Came down, came up. Here's a level. We would not enter. We would not enter this one. They're too close. Came down, up, down, up, down. So what it's doing, it continues to make lower lows and not break a high. So what I would do in this case is I would wait. I would want to see it create a pivot. This is what I would like to see. It come up to here, to this pivot, possibly retrace to here, which is a support level. Not only that, but it's a 0.5 on our fib, then come up. Now what it's doing, it's actually changing the trend. It's changing the momentum. It had this nice sell-off, nice little pump, nice sell-off from this pump, taking almost 100% of this pump. This is when it's safer to enter. Could you enter right now because we're in the buy zone? Sure. But what's from stopping it from doing this? So this is why we don't want to enter right now. Depending on your risk, it's higher risk because it could continue coming down, breaking this low, and then coming up and then coming back down. So you don't want to do, in my opinion, it's higher risk. Now, could you enter? Yeah, sure. Granted, hopefully everything's going to be going up. We don't know, but if history repeats after the presidential inauguration, the market and crypto market go up. Things are always changing though. Was inflation this high last time? Was the economy the same as last time? So there's different variables that come into play. Everything that I say is from experience. This is what's going to save you so much time, so much money, and so much effort. If you want to make money, I will show you how. I would strongly recommend getting the VIP. You're going to make money. Now, granted, none of this is financial advice. It's never hopes and dreams and empty promises, nothing like that. See what I do. See if this makes you money. I give you my real life experience based off of my trainings, based off of my teachings, what I would do at that moment versus what everybody else does, because they want to sell you their course. They want to sell you all that stuff. I show you that my stuff works. Do we win? Yes. Do we lose? Sometimes. That's part of the game. But what I do is I show you all this so that you can see, oh man, I lost today, but Joe said he lost too. So it's okay. That's what I want you to realize, guys. If you like the content that I provide, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and leave me a comment in the comment box. And I'll see you on the next video. And as always, let's make this money.